Welcome to the Better Road Podcast, where we pave the way to better living and discover the roads less traveled.
Hello, Stephen Fisher.
How you doing? Tell me
Good.
about your day.
Oh, man. Today, I started editing some photos from my cousin's graduation of law school.
Okay.
Graduated Hofstra this past week.
Okay.
So I did that this morning. I met up with my mother. We went for a little walk.
That's nice.
That was nice. She gave me some flowers.
Nice.
That was nice.
For the apartment or?
Yeah, for the apartment.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So are you moved in there?
About 80%. My sister still has a few things to get out of the apartment, but we're pretty much there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not living there quite yet, but you're close.
I am living there.
Oh, you are?
She is not living there.
Oh, okay.
She's just slowly taking her stuff to her boyfriend's.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much there, just last steps
few
of moving
things,
things out.
Yeah.
That's nice. So you got new flowers for the place. That's good.
Got some new flowers for the place. I went down to Washington Square Park. It's Bitcoin Pizza Day.
Okay. So what does that mean?
So on this day, like a decade ago, there was a gentleman who paid 40,000 Bitcoin for a pizza pie.
Yeah.
So now
it's worth what, 750 million now?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Twitter.
So every year, this is called Bitcoin Pizza Day, and Coinbase did a pizza truck. They gave away free pizza.
Did you eat?
No, I didn't eat.
Yeah. Okay, but there's a lot of people there.
As the audience, we'll get into our conversation. This will come up.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people, and they had everyone download the wallet, and they gave everyone $10 of USDC to pay for the pizza. So they gave out free money in crypto, and they had you spend them $1 for the pizza.
Oh,
so they gave you the money, and they gave you the experience of using it.
Right.
Which is great.
Which app did they use to?
The Coinbase wallet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they got people to download the app.
Exactly.
The issue is they're using USDC. They're not using Bitcoin.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
All right. Well, introducing one of the first guests on this podcast. This is Josh, my old friend from college. We've known each other since first semester freshman year.
Yeah.
And I find Josh to be a very eclectic, interesting person. So I was really excited to get him on here. Josh, I want to start with the camera that a lot of people are seeing you with nowadays.
Okay.
I noticed that it makes you smile. It makes you really happy. Can you tell me a little bit about the camera that you're using right now?
Yeah. So one of my friends recommended I get a Canon. So I bought a Canon and I put a nice lens on it. It's a big boy.
It's a big lens.
It's a big lens.
Yeah.
It catches people's attention and it starts a lot of conversations.
Okay. Is there anything about the functionality of why you chose that lens or why you chose that camera in particular?
So I believe the details of the lens are 25 millimeter to 105 millimeter.
Okay. It's a big range.
It's a big range.
Yeah.
So I never have to take it off. I have the short range and I have the long range.
Okay.
It's got full utility.
Okay.
Very versatile.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And what drew you to deciding to purchase the camera? Because it seems like it was out of the blue. Yeah.
So during college, I definitely loved taking photos of sunsets. We went to school in Miami, and I love taking photos of the sunsets, sunrises, the golf courses.
Where would you go for that in Miami? Just curious.
A lot of our balconies that our friends lived at had either sunset views.
Yeah.
Or I'd always go down to the beach for a run on South Beach. Always watch the sunset from South Point on 1st Street. Absolutely gorgeous. Looking over Fisher Island.
Okay.
That was one of my spots to run.
Okay.
So either there or on the golf course for a sunset round in Coral Gables at Granada.
Okay.
Shout out Granada.
A
lot of memories at Granada.
What about Granada?
It's a small 9-hole course, and after 4 p.m., they closed the course, and we would just hop on. The guy would let us hang out. The guy would let us go and play.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so it started with sunsets, and then, this is way later on now. So, what brought you back to this? Taking photos of, now I see a lot of street views, a lot of buildings. I see sunsets, nature. I see food. So what brought you to decide that you wanted to get this camera and make content?
New York.
New York?
New York. Moving back to New York this past summer, I saw photos everywhere I went in my head, and I was like, this camera is not getting the photo that I saw in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I need something better.
Okay.
We needed a better road.
Okay. So pretty much the streets of New York inspired you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So you now have what goes by In the Now Studios, right? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Of course. So my favorite photos are of moments that aren't staged.
Okay. Can you speak to the mic a little bit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moments that aren't staged.
Okay.
Photos that are in the moment, or better known as the now.
Right.
When you look at my photos, I want you to feel like you are in that moment and nothing was structured to create this photo. Nothing, I did not change any of my environment to get the photo.
Gotcha. So makes sense in the now.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I like that. Now, I want to kind of talk about your time from graduating college up until now, because it seems like you found your way. It seems like you're excited about what you're doing in the Now Studios. I heard got its first client, right?
We did get our first client.
So what you're doing is entrepreneurial and you're finding some success to start. So you're getting a good start. I want to speak about your experience from graduating college up until now, what that was like, and how did you find your purpose, and what was the process in between? Was it a difficult one? Was it easy? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
It was the most difficult journey in the best way possible.
Elaborate.
I graduated school. I didn't work for around 8 months. I was living with a friend that we had went to school with. Um, I wasn't in the best place mentally, and I knew that I had to change that. So we found a better road. I started taking care of myself differently. I started going different places, trying new activities, trying to open my mind and open my body. I took a keen, intense interest in stretching. I would stretch frequently throughout the day.
I didn't know that.
I very much believe your mind and body are connected, and to have an open mind, you need to have an open body. And as I stretched and I felt my joints open up, I felt my body open up, I felt my mind open up.
Where'd you find these stretches, and can you explain them a little bit more? I'm curious.
So I didn't find any stretches anywhere. I wouldn't watch any videos
Okay.
on yoga or anything. I would just flow. I'd get on a yoga mat and I'd move my body, and whichever way my body wanted to move is where it moved.
Very interesting. Okay. Are you still doing that?
Not as frequently,
Okay.
but definitely always, if I'm in somewhere or like I'm standing for a long time, I'll move my body a little bit in like a stretching manner.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have the sessions I used to. But maybe I'll get back into it.
Okay, cool. Now, I know you did have some work experience. You worked at a golf course, right?
Yes, 2 golf courses.
2 golf courses. Okay. And what was that like?
Uh, I woke up to a sunrise on a golf course every single day. It
Mm-hmm.
was amazing. Spoke to people from around the world. It was in the heart of South Beach, so it was a very upbeat vibe.
Right.
We got people coming for bachelor parties.
Okay,
You know,
fun.
the members were from all over the world. They were just here to have a good time. It mostly wasn't their stationary home.
Okay.
So when they came here, they were always looking to relax and enjoy themselves. And very smart people I always had intelligent conversations with. And you never know who was going to walk through. So it was always a different environment. Even though I'm in the same environment, I'm speaking with different people, learning different things. I'm a true believer in You learn something from everyone, no matter who they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's a great way to kind of go about interactions
Yeah.
is anybody can teach you something, right?
Anybody can teach you something. And I was speaking to over like 150 people a day.
Okay.
Quick interactions too.
Right.
So I had to get to the point and connect with these people as quick as I could. Sometimes my interactions were only 30 seconds,
Right.
and I had to get this person to like me.
150 people a day through what, like, why were you communicating with that many people?
So the course sees around 200 to 250 people per day.
Okay.
And if I'm working from 6 a.m. till around 2, I get the majority of those people. And I was the one talking to everyone as they come in to the course.
Okay. So you were like kind of welcoming
Yeah.
people in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, eventually you decided this wasn't what you wanted to do. You decided to
Correct.
go back to New York. What made you think that way?
I got to the point where I needed a major change. I believe change of environments create different perspectives in your mind and open you up to different ways of looking at the world and looking at yourself. I'm from New York, and at some point in my Miami years, I thought maybe I would just stay there for good. But I got to the point where I felt I needed a New York touch in me. Needed to experience New York one more time, before I go out and settle somewhere. It was too early to settle.
Right. Right. And settling in Miami could really settle, you
Yeah, you
know?
could really settle. I was living a very comfortable life. It was very good, but too good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad the hustle
Yeah,
and bustle of New York
yeah,
got you going and finding something that you really love. Now, this is something we speak about all the time. And you had mentioned a little bit about stretching and some of the things that keep you healthy. I know that you keep a very strict diet and you've struggled with some inflammation issues yourself. Can you share a little bit more about that experience and what kind of foods you eat in a day, what kind of keeps you grounded in a day?
yeah, definitely. So, I'll go to the beginning. When I was 10 years old, I went to my pediatrician for a routine checkup, and they had me read the eye chart,
Okay.
and I couldn't read some of the letters. So they said, "Your son needs glasses."
Hmm.
So I went to an eye doctor. They said, "You need more than glasses. You actually have inflammation in your eye, which is called uveitis." From there, since 10 years old, they put me on a medication called Humira. And if you watch Stefan's first episode, he speaks about Humira briefly. It's an injection. My mom actually used to inject it into my arm when I was young because I couldn't do that myself.
Hmm.
Um, Fast forward into the year 2020, I felt a strong desire to not be on the medication. And I
10
started
years of using it, right?
10 years of using it. Yeah.
Okay.
Using it. So throughout those 10 years, I started using it every 2 weeks. They were able to get me to once a month. This was senior year of high school. When I was on once a month, my right knee blew up and got inflamed. So then they put it on every week. So since from high school, the senior year of high school to senior year of college, I was doing it every week. And I knew during college that something was pushing me towards a healthier lifestyle. And at the end of college, I really started to research diet and inflammation and how you can alleviate, heal, fix some of these issues through lifestyle changes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would agree based on my own experience. Now, what brought you to really stop? Because that is a tough thing. I mean, you're doing this for 10 years. It seems to have stopped your inflammation, at least the symptoms, and you decided to stop. It seems like a very brave move, a very bold move, but you did it. What brought you to that?
I came across a doctor named Robert Morse.
Okay.
He is a doctor that advocates for a fully raw diet and a fully fruit diet.
Where's this doctor based?
in Florida.
Okay.
He's got a YouTube channel and a website if anyone wants to check him out.
I'll plug him in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
that's what
interested.
started my journey. And then there was another gentleman. Um, I I, I never pronounce his name right, but it's like Aginus. We'll find his tag and we'll get him in here as well.
Okay.
Um, so he advocates for a raw diet as well, but he adds raw cream, raw milk, raw meat, fruits, and
Okay.
vegetable juice.
You found these guys on the internet?
I found these guys on the internet, mostly through Twitter. A lot of time on Twitter
Okay.
is what opened me up to this new world of medicine and as food as medicine.
Right. And did you try the diet first and then stop the drugs, or how did you go about that? Because I know you really just
Yeah.
stopped recently.
Yeah. So I did an only fruit diet
Okay.
and was still doing the medication at the time. Felt much better mentally and physically wise, had more energy and clear thoughts. I could like
Hmm.
feel like inflammation. You feel it in your thoughts.
Foggy, yeah.
Yeah.
Fatigue and fogginess for
Fatigue,
sure.
foggy, um, energy levels. I was feeling better. And then I really just went over the edge and was like, I can't do these anymore. I want to be off them to the extent where I knew it was risky. I didn't care.
Right. Right. And you had actually told me that you had some interesting dreams of some sort that kind of, and I thought this was really interesting. Can you explain those again? I'm kind of forgetting what
Yes.
happened there.
So I'd have these dreams where they weren't my doctors that I had in real life, but
Right.
they were dressed up in a doctor manner, and they were always in nature, and they would tell me
The natural way.
the natural way to go about it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I find that so interesting, the way that that kind of went through your mind, the way you
Yeah.
kind of understood that. Very cool. So what's like a normal thing or a normal day? Like what do you eat?
I wake up. I usually have a spoonful of honey.
Yeah, I know you love your honey.
I love my honey, raw honey, man. I live on that.
Okay.
Maybe a piece of cheese, a raw cheese, a juice, something easy to digest.
Okay.
And then I'll go either with some eggs, avocado.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll add a vegetable or two, like a mushroom in the eggs.
Okay.
But I try and keep my meals simple. I try and not have a lot of variety on my plate.
Right.
One or two things, maybe three things. Because
Yeah, yeah.
the more things you have on the plate, the more energy it takes to digest it all. Because each item is digested differently.
Hmm. That's real interesting. I should probably cut down my smoothies based on that concept. Um, okay, and then after your eggs and mushrooms, what do you typically have for lunch, for dinner? Is it different or
So during the day, I probably eat less. I try and keep it light during the day. I'll have another juice or maybe some more eggs, maybe a small piece of steak. Um, yeah, those are probably the things I'll eat. And then I try and have an earlier dinner, like 6, 7 o'clock. Then I'll eat a bigger meal, usually steak.
right? And you're posting these a lot now.
I am posting these. We've got a new Instagram, Chef of the Now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's very cool.
To backtrack to the Chef of the Now, my goal with that page is to help the followers learn how to cook simple meals so that they know how to take care of themselves. Because I truly believe that food has an extreme um, factor on how you live.
I definitely agree with that.
The restaurants these days are putting crap in your meals. They don't care.
Tell them. Tell
They
them.
don't care. It's for profit.
What about the grocery stores?
The grocery stores don't care. There's 2 aisles, 3 aisles you should look at, which is always usually on the perimeters, which is the protein, the vegetables, and the fruit. Everything else is bullshit.
Yep. I mean, I was just saying, I made a video today. Like, go to your local tea shop. Don't buy
Yes.
those packaged brands.
Yes.
Go to like the local butcher, the local, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
these are literally they're getting all their items fresh
Yes.
from the farms or from the so that's been my way going about it. It's sometimes hard to figure it out, but over time you learn, you
Yeah.
find new places. What are some of your favorite places to shop? I know you live on the Upper East Side, so let's focus on that area.
Yeah. So even though I live on the Upper East Side, I do travel usually to Union Square
Okay.
for the farmers market.
Okay.
I go down to the seaport to the Tin Building.
Okay, yeah, I know you do that.
So those are my two spots where I usually get all my groceries.
Yeah.
There's also a cheese shop on 52nd and First called Ideal Cheese. It's usually where I get my cheeses.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you for sharing, Josh. I really appreciate what you're doing. Proud to see you here, doing your own thing, working for yourself. Seems like you really found your path. Before we head out of here, I do want to ask if you have like one thing that anyone who viewed this might be able to do to improve their life or better their life. What might you suggest?
Be in the now.
I love that. That's just great. That's so themed. Also, where can the people find you?
Instagram handle is In the Now Studios. Instagram handle for the food is Chef of the Now. My Twitter is Be in the Now.
Awesome. We're going to tag those all up here. And before we get going, anyone else you suggest to hop on here on the better road?
Michael Sefton.
Michael Sefton, we'll see you soon. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe.
See you guys.